So it's January 7th, 2020. And when I visited Mom yesterday, I had just come back from a pretty tough weekend in the hometown of Fulton. I had some really sweet friends lose their baby at 18 or 19 months. And so, it does humble me. And there's been a lot of loss in my life and other people's lives, but that loss makes some of the other situations and losses make they're not as bad as they were. Somebody like my dad who lives to his mid 50s and then passes. Yes, that's sad. But it's not as sad as losing an innocent, precious little baby. So, even though, yes, I'm still crying, I do feel a new sense of perspective, inspiration, and motivation. With that being said, when I got back, I went directly to visit my mom and tuck her in. And for the really, not the exact first time, but clearly this time, Mom was hallucinating, I guess. She was in the hallway, having a conversation and responding to something, and I'm not sure what it was. And then when I tried to get her to go to bed, she was having a really difficult time laying down and staying there and finding peace. She was making response noises, what, I don't know what to do. She was saying things even though she was attempting to sleep, and then she would be startled and sit up quickly and be terrified, like night terror type of terrified. And then she'd lay back down and, she was sweaty. And I laid there for over an hour and just tried to rub her back and tell her everything's going to be okay. And she never went to sleep. And then I ended up losing it. And, I left because I didn't know what else to do except for tell her it was going to be okay. And then hope that was the truth. So I said a little prayer and left. And what's so sad about that is I have finally found a protocol by Dr. Bresden after reading How to End Alzheimer's, a book that was recommended to me. And he has a protocol where, besides a change of diet, take, the Mind Diet. I got all these Mind Diet cookbooks, right? So I read this book. And this doctor, he has come up with a program to prevent and reverse what is going on, at least attempt to do so. It may be too late, of course he mentions that in the book. Mom is only 67. She's been dealing with this for about 10 years-ish. And so yeah, I may have waited a little too long to discover all of this. But even with the discovery of his program, which is a series of testing, like urine and blood testing, and some really critical areas that make a big, that fuel your mind, figuring out where Mom's levels are, where they need to be, and getting them back to that, and then changing her diet, and over time seeing a reversal. Anyway, that's the plan, or that would be the plan, but it costs a significant amount of money. And sorry. I don't know which one's grosser, me wiping my nose or me just letting the snot come out of it in front of you. What was I saying? Protocol's expensive, and Medicare and insurance is not going to cover a lot of it. So by some miracle of God, all of a sudden, the music that I had kind of given up on, like a music career, I've been chasing it like my entire life, music, and then I have some dreams of TV and movies, and I write television series and movie scripts as well as like children's books and stuff, along with my songs. And so the concept would be if I could make it, for a little while in music and get some money and get a little household name, a little bit of power, to launch me into, you know, being able to get the attention of the people that I need to get in order to make those other ideas real, then that's my dream. And I had kind of given up in 2018. Still love music, but, you know, was trying to like accept that it may not be my reality. And it's been very difficult the last couple of years because my internal soul just isn't settled over it all. But point being, music's finally kind of doing okay. It's showing up on charts by some miracle magic of God and help and support of friends and family. And now my daily prayer, you know, is to go to bed, wake up in the morning with all this magic royalty check or something that could allow me to immediately start my mom on this protocol and possibly try to save her. And what's really upsetting about last night's visit is, from what I've read and what I recall, hallucinating is really one of the signs of the last stage before you die of a disease such as Mom's. And I saw a former roommate of Mom's act a lot like Mom acted last night in her final year of life. The lady was just so sweet, but she was so terrified, and she was hallucinating a lot, and you know, always thought something was trying to get her. And turns out she was right, because eventually something got her, and I hope it was the good Lord, and I hope he took her home. And anyway, so now I'm just a big mess because I feel like I'm out of time, and it's just such a hopeless, it's always been hopeless. It's been a hopeless feeling. But that book and that doctor gave me hope all of a sudden, and it was like last night it was all drained out of me again. So that is my video diary of the dementia daughter journey. January 7th. No, it's the 10th. Hell, y'all, it's the 10th. January 10th, 2020.